It's that time again. In the Carline. Nothing to do. Got an hour to burn. Uh, Wife is actually feeling like 70% better. So she's almost done with the ick, which is nice. She could have come today, but it's getting frustrated at work. I'm like, I just need to step away for a little bit. So I stepped away and gonna sit at Carline for an hour. But it's actually, you know, it could be worse. I don't have anything to rip today. I should have brought some stuff. Instead, I have been working on a couple things. And I was hoping that some folks would jump in and maybe you could help me out a little bit. Hey, John. Hey, buddy, how are you doing? Just I'm over here just burning time, just living the good life, sitting in the car line. Hey, Fredzel, great to see you. So I had a couple thoughts. Uh, I go through tangents in my head, just constantly. When I have time to think, it's scary. Like I need to focus on something. Otherwise, I just get frustrated. But I'm also working on some projects. I'm hoping maybe you guys have some recommendations. I am looking to do some shout outs for channels who have less than 200 subs. If you've run across any good ones that you can think of off the top of my head, off your head, I mean, I'd love to hear them and go check them out. Yeah, is it 2 hours? Yeah, I guess it is. Should be. I should have worn my "Don't Eat Gum" shirt because there's gonna be some gross gum he's gonna eat today. The Dallas Card Show posted today that might. Oh, cool. Nope, I did not see that. What did they say? How much he's charging? That's always my sticking point. Because look at like, kids who have had like half of a good season, and they're like, "Hey, it's only $400 each." I'm like, no, I'm not gonna spend $400 because you had 6 interceptions last year. That's not. It's ridiculous. And they're charging for like college kids. So like, hey, well, he might go into the NFL draft in 2 years. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. 70. Okay, guessing 75. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. He's my favorite. He's my favorite star. It used to. He used to do some freebies around town back in the day. I don't know if he still lives here though, so that might be part of it. Am I in Great Britain? No, sir. I'm in Great Texas, where it's beautiful today, 70 degrees, the sun's out, can't complain. It's actually really cold in my house. Like, my wife is half penguin, so if she's not cold, she's not happy. So even like she'll be running around in shorts and a shirt, and I'm like bundled up, freezing. She's so happy. Bonjour from France. Yay! What part of France? I've only been to Paris, so I'm not very good. My friend lived over there for a while after college, not in Paris, out in the outskirts somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but he loved it. But he was kind of fluent, and not so much anymore. Oh, nice. Germany, that would be fun. I've never been there. It is on the to-do list. Hey, David. He thought it was... I sound like I'm from Great Britain. I have been, and it's wonderful. I did, after high school, before college, I went over there with a couple buddies for like 2 weeks, and we did England, Scotland. We touched Wales, didn't spend a whole lot of time there. But mostly England and Scotland, and then we went to Paris for a few days. It was awesome. We took the channel that goes under the English Channel, and my one buddy was super excited about it. He's like, "Well, we could fly. We could take the channel. Let's go under the water. Let's do that." I'm like, "Yeah, it's great, man." I slept the whole time. He was so frustrated. He's like, "You guys just slept." I'm like, "We've been hitting it hard." And you don't sleep very well on vacation. At least I don't, because you're not sleeping in your own bed. Different time zones. I don't know. Oh, my tantrum. Here's my tantrum. You want a tantrum question? On the way here, there was a lady driver and behind me in like a bigger SUV, so I can like see up into it, and she's doing this. like she's mad at me for like not getting to the light fast enough, and I was like, oh, maybe she's gonna try to squeeze into this turn lane, even though there really wasn't enough room. So I moved up, and I'm like, no, she's just talking with her hands. I'm like, how? I don't understand drivers who talk with their hands while they're driving. I get that they're I guess being safe by using the system on the car, the Bluetooth. That makes sense, but hands on the wheel or something. At least one hand. But the whole time I thought she was like yelling at me. I'm like, why is she yelling at me? But whatever. And yeah, see, I tried to be a courteous driver. Hard to do in Dallas. You have to be an offensive driver here. Defensive drivers get in trouble. It does sound dangerous. Like she's probably like, hey, I'm being safe because I'm using my Bluetooth, but I'm driving like this. I don't know. Anyway, thought that was weird. Just in general, people who talk with their hands. I get like if you're trying to show somebody how to do something, like you just trying, oh yeah, it's a bowl, it's this big, or I don't know, when you cast your rod, you want to do that and then jerk back. That makes sense. You're showing motions, but like just generally, you're like, oh, it's January, and then oh, it's February. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. Trump 2025. That's another one of my tangents. So, a card friend, just posted a video, and he was very down because he was unhappy with the election results. And I get it. I think, half the country was happy and half the country wasn't. And I feel like that is just politics for you. And it seems like it's that way every 4 years. Half the country's happy. Half the country's like, this is the worst thing ever. And then in 4 years, it's going to be the exact same thing. It's like, I don't remember a time where I was ever like, oh yeah, the whole country's going to unite around this one person because this person's going to fix all of our problems. But nobody ever fixes our problems. Something might get fixed, and then it just migrates into 3 other issues. I don't know. So I feel like this is a little bit my escape from reality, from my bills and politics and work and all the stuff, all the stress. Like this is me. This is me having you want a joke? I'll tell you a joke in just a second. Oh, I guess here, I'll just stop. Anyway, that's it. Like, we don't need to talk about politics in your safe zone. And I feel like this should be our safe zone. No politics, religion, and what's the third? Like money. Like never talk about those three things in a bar. It's guaranteed to have a fight. A joke. Oh man. Oh, I can't think of a joke. Hold on, let me think. Oh, I got one. Halloween just went past, and I didn't get an opportunity to tell one of my favorite Halloween jokes. And the joke goes something like this. It's been a long time since I've heard it or told it. A bunch of pirates go to an old lady's house. They knock on the door. A bunch of little kid pirates. And she opens the door and says, "Oh, y'all are so cute. Where are your buccaneers?" And the little boy goes, "Under our bucking hats." It's kind of funny. Buccaneers, bucking hats. Get it? All right. Anyway, it's fun. It's fun to me. Yeah. I mean, the rich tend to get richer. That is for sure. Hey, David, I got another question. One of my tangents is the Canadian Post. I know that they're on strike. And... yeah. there's a bunch of those types of jokes, Brandon. Crap, where was it? Oh, the Canadian Post. So is it like every 4 years they go on strike? It seems strange to me that it's a privately owned business that's run by the government or vice versa. I don't quite understand how that works. Hey, Zep, good to see you, buddy. The Bucking Bulls, yeah. Every 4 years, that's crazy. Like, how long do they go on strike? Is it like we're going to go on strike for 2 weeks and everything's going to get resolved, or does it go on for a long time? I don't know. Hey, Munch, good to see you. Yeah, it's just, I don't understand it. Like our post office, it's government run, so it doesn't make any money, right? It loses money every year because it's run by the government. But they can't just like, no, we're not going to do it anymore. I just, what a nightmare that would be. A week or so. Got it. Hey, Joe. Good to see you, buddy. Hey, Robert. Good to see you. Hey, Daniel. Zach. Oh, man. Everybody's here. Thank y'all for coming in and keeping me company. My other tangent, since we're on Canada, was Canadian Thanksgiving. And you're like, why, Justin? Why? Why do you just bring up this stuff? Well, because my mind goes in these random things. So I was thinking about the Canadian Post, and then I went to our post office, and then how our post office seems to take off all the time for every holiday they can think of. And I was like, oh, Thanksgiving's coming up. And didn't Canada just have their Thanksgiving? I think so. It makes more, I don't. Why? What is the Canadian Thanksgiving? Are you celebrating? Like ours is when the Native Americans helped the first settlers not die, and they're like, "Yay! Now we eat turkey because of that." And then to reward the Native Americans for helping the early settlers, more settlers came and they pretty much wiped them out. So, gotta be careful who you're nice to, I guess. Oh, is it straight harvest holiday in Canada? It doesn't have any other historical like meaning behind it. Like I don't know. So like there was the French Indian War. But I don't know how things went down with the Native Americans in Canada. I remember watching the Winter Olympics where they did a big during the production, they did a thing for the first peoples or the indigenous peoples or whatever they were calling them at that time. I was like, that's kind of neat. But I wonder how the indigenous people in Canada differed from the ones in the States. I don't know. Because I think the theory is that people walked across the land bridge from Asia and Russia to Alaska and down during the Ice Age. And actually, I mean, there's still, I think, points like recently where it freezes like a little bridge and you can walk across there. Crazy that we're that close to Russia. But I guess Alaska's that close. I wish Don Mattingly would say hello. It's on my bucket list to meet him. And they say never meet your heroes. And so I'm always a little apprehensive about it. Just different tribes. Huh. There you go. Does Thanksgiving in Canada, you got like a turkey? Is that like a turkey thing? We do turkey and ham, it seems like. I will say that being in Texas, we have had Thanksgivings where we did chicken fajitas. Because nothing says Thanksgiving like chicken fajitas, guacamole, and queso. Huh. I mean, it makes sense. Like, isn't it something crazy? Like, 90% of the population in Canada lives technically under the northernmost border of the U.S., like between, I guess, Washington and Maine, like Toronto and Montreal are technically below that. I don't know. It's just, everything sounds really cold. I just found out that I have to go to Washington State in January for some meetings, and I'm going to tell you, I don't even own a real coat. I am not thrilled about going up there in January. 0% of me is excited about that. Yes. Sounds cold. 75%. See, I knew it was a lot. It's a lot of people. It is a lot of people. You did, what university did you go to? Was it in Canada? I don't know. I don't know these things. Do you guys have to pay for your own university, or is that done by the taxpayers? Like I think Germany has free college. Minnesota. I mean, the Upper Peninsula should. I used to go to Nagani, Michigan. You're like, where's Nagani, Michigan? It's a map dot, and beautiful country. It was beautiful. But I always like to plan those. Like when I go up to Maine, I like to do those in August when it's 110 in Texas, and then but you're like, why are you taking a jacket? It's like because this is light jacket weather in Maine. It's awesome. I love that. From Iceland. Well, that's interesting. That is interesting. Hey, Vince. Good to see you, buddy. Second generation Canadian. Huh. College is crazy. So, when my son was born, I made the mistake of. Here, I'll just tell you the whole story. So, the deal is, uh, my wife didn't think she could get pregnant. It was something she was told when she was younger that she wasn't going to be able to have babies. And so I always had it in my mindset that, if this thing worked out, we would just adopt at some point because I feel like there's a ton of kids who never get adopted who are in the system their whole lives. And it's always been sad to me because there's some statistic like once a kid in the system reaches like 5 years old, the chances of them getting adopted drops to like 10% or something wild like that. Don't hold me to those exact numbers. And I just thought to myself, how sad it is when our society is basically saying, once you're 5 years old, you're no longer useful. You no longer deserve to be loved. They want a baby. I also understand the parents that want babies. I get it. I just felt like, basically telling a kid at 5 that you're trash. This is kind of what it felt like to me. And I don't know. So I was always, we'll adopt a slightly older child who may otherwise never have been adopted. And just one night we're sitting on the couch watching football, and she's like, I'm late. She's like, I don't know what's going on with my guts or whatever. And then she was late for a while, and then we were just drinking a beer, and I'm like, hey, before you drink that beer, why don't you go take a test? And she's like, I'm not pregnant. I can't get pregnant. I was like, just go do it. And so she did, and she came back, and she handed me her beer, and that is how she told me that she was pregnant. So there we go. But my first initial reaction was, how am I going to afford this? Because I just bought a house, I just bought a truck. And I wasn't ready for that. Plus, I was helping out some of her other family with some stuff, and I was like, that is a lot. Children are crazy expensive. Thanks, man. That was very nice of you, Robert. I appreciate that. But yeah, so it's 2012, right? So when I made the mistake of estimating what college was going to cost me when it was time for him to go. And I figured it was going to be between housing and 4 years of a decent college with the inflation rate the way it was going. It was going to cost me $250,000. Yikes. $250,000 for 4 years education. And so what we did is sold my house, and we moved to a different school district, higher taxes, but better school. Like, it's one of the best schools in the state, the school districts in the state. I think it's number 3 right now. It's under like the super rich kids school district, like super rich kids schools, and then like under this one high school district that's just for gifted and talented. Like, you have to be a genius to be in there, but this is third underneath that over the whole state. That's pretty awesome. So my thought is, I pay a little bit more in taxes out here, but he's in a better school district. He makes really good grades. Maybe Maybe we'll get some scholarships that way. I don't know. You're taught Icelandic. So Iceland is on our bucket list. I wanted to go a couple years ago, and I just couldn't make it happen. And so it's still on our list to go. It's really expensive to go there, though. When I was researching it, I found out that most of the people there speak English, which is awesome because I want to travel somewhere where I can communicate. And also that I thought was interesting. Like, it's so expensive that people, when they go shopping for like back to school and stuff, they'll fly to New York. It is cheaper to fly from Iceland to New York to go shopping for 2 weeks and have all that stuff shipped back than it is to just go to whatever their local Walmart is. Crazy. That was a long story, John, and I try to tell short stories. I can't do it. It's like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I try. Cheaper than Canada, but yeah, it's expensive. I don't know. Sounds crazy to me. Okay, my other tangent. Because today is about tangents. Oh, also, while I have all of you, I have a request. I have two things. One, I'm working on some shout-out stuff. If you have a favorite channel that's got like 200-ish subs, shout them out, and then so I can add. I'm making a list, and then favorite Christmas movies, and they can be obscure. Those are the two I'm working on. and then I'm also working on. I'm gonna do a new thing with my kid, where we watch like the movies that I loved, like guy movies, but not necessarily all guy movies, but like, you know, Conan the Barbarian and Rambo and I don't know, like all the movies he should have seen but he hasn't seen them yet. Dumb and Dumber, things like that. I'm making a list because we're gonna do a new series where I make him watch these movies and then we talk about it, because I feel like, man, he's missing out on so many awesome things because all he wants to do is watch Naruto and play Call of Duty. David, thanks, man. I appreciate that. That was very sweet of you. David is so awesome. Thank you. Unbelievable. Okay. I appreciate that. I'll take him on Instagram. Okay, but here is my rant. I live in a neighborhood that's got sidewalks. I don't understand why people don't use them. You're walking your dogs in the middle of the street. You're riding your bikes in the middle of the street. Are we to a point where I'm supposed to drive on the sidewalk? Because otherwise I'm getting in the way of people walking their dogs. Why are you walking your dog in the middle of the street? I don't get it. It's crazy. People are crazy. I tell my kid all the time, like, yep, I don't know. People are crazy. Animal House and Blues Brothers are great. I think Blues Brothers might have had a sequel, but I don't remember that one. So Blues Brothers, Animal House, definitely. Got it. Or like Mad Max. He needs to see Mad Max. But probably not Waterworld. Because Waterworld, we can all agree that was just Mad Max on the water. It wasn't as bad as like people make it out to be, but it wasn't good. And they spent a gazillion dollars on it. Yeah, I thought they had two. Is Belushi in the second one too? I don't know. Oh yeah, the electric bikes. Yeah, we got some of those kids around. We had in our. I never understood, like in our downtown area. There's a couple different areas that are just streets and streets full of bars, and that's bars and restaurants. What they do, and they do the little renting scooters, the electric scooters. I'm like, why are you giving drunk people in crowded areas electric scooters? I'm like, this is not going to end good. I do wonder how many people have been hit by cars or just run into cars because people are dumb. Oh, I said John. Sorry. The Belushi boys. I think I tried to TTM John. I don't think he's ever returned it though. I'm trying to think offhand which custom cards I sent him. I don't remember. It's been a while. It's probably been 6-8 months. I didn't get any TTMs today. Always bummed. Always bummed when that happens. Always makes me very depressed. Yeah. Oh, I mean, Zach, Waterworld terrible. You put it in the terrible category or just the not good category? Because I will 100% agree it's not good. When Kevin Costner drinks his own pee, I'm like, why did you even include that? What's the point? And they all wanted this special Dirk that you had to find in a bottle at the bottom of the ocean, and he's got gills. I don't know. Like, it had problems, right? It wasn't good. But, yeah, it was just like, it was Mad Max on the water. So, yeah, four-wheelers on the streets because you can't get them on a sidewalk, right? That makes sense to me. And they're loud enough where you're not going to run over them. Do I have a lice or ice? Ice? It's not snowing here. I hope I don't have lice. I've never had lice before. I remember those checks back in like elementary school where they would check everybody for lice. Now I don't have hair, so it'd be really easy to check. But back then, I always thought it was really weird. They check you for lice and what else? They'd like take off your shirt and like touch your back. I don't remember exactly what it was. Scoliosis, maybe they were checking for scoliosis. I did know that Belushi was growing cannabis, and you know that doesn't surprise anybody, right? Like yeah, that makes sense. All right, so what's my other random thought today was I feel like every state probably has a song about that state. Like Texas has a ton of songs about Texas. And I kind of want to make a list of all the states and like the best song about that state. Like you think Georgia, and it's got to be Georgia by oh, I can't believe I just went blank. Ray Charles. Why'd I go blank? Barry, hey buddy, Sweet Home Alabama. Alabama. You don't have a better song about Alabama than that. Or Country Roads, the John Denver, West Virginia, right? You don't have a better one. But are there states, like, are there songs about Iowa? I don't know. Like the band Kansas, but there's got to be songs about Kansas. I don't know what they are, but there's a ton about Texas. New York's got a ton. Sweet Home Chicago, that's got to be a good one for Illinois. What's Johnny Cash? Hey Julie, good to see you. Is there a good song about New Jersey? I don't know. I thought that would be a fun list to make. Is there a good Washington, D.C. song? Does that count? I don't know. It's a district. Super crazy. Back home again. Oh, okay. Yeah, but do they... Yeah, I mean, I assume that there's a Bon Jovi song about New Jersey? I don't know. Like, Bon Jovi's best album was Slippery When Wet. It was excellent. I could listen to that album all day. But, like, the newer stuff they're putting out, I have no idea. No idea. If it came after or before Slippery When Wet, I probably don't know it. New Hampshire needs a song. That's funny. Yeah, I didn't think about that. They certainly don't have one. Or Rhode Island. Who's writing songs about Rhode Island? My weird head. I got my mind wanders. Yeah. Sometimes Born in the USA would encompass all of them. There you go. There you go. Sometimes I'll ask my wife a weird question, and she'll be like, "How did you get there?" I'm like, "Okay, well, I was thinking about this, that led to this, that led to this, that led to this, that led to this, to not here." And she's like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "You asked." It reminds me of remember TGIF, the TV, like Family Matters and all those other ones. They had a show. I don't even remember the name of it, but like they had like the tall, goofy dude, and he was like, "Hey, I'm Cody." And what was the name of that show? I don't know. Sorry, it was even a bad impression. But somebody asked Cody. He's like, he was trying to find something, and so he wrote like a number or something on his hand to remind him where he left this thing. And he went on this tangent on how he did it. And it was like, oh, this does this. Oh, that's my pool stick cue. And my 8-ball, corner pocket. He's like, it's in my pocket. So, I mean, that's sometimes I feel like that's a little bit like me. Kind of scary. Yeah. That sounds very come from Alabama with the banjo. I mean, it sounds like Deliverance a little bit. It's a little scary. Didn't they remake Deliverance? I don't know how you could remake that movie, though. I mean, I want to say that was a good movie. It was weird. It was a strange movie. Step by Step. That was it. Man, Zach, you're full of all the good knowledge, all the good stuff. Zach, your index of random facts always impresses me. I enjoy it because Zach is one to go on a tangent as well and bring up random facts, and that's why I love him. That's why I love Zach. Everybody loves Zach, even though he eats gum. I wonder, Zach, how much brain activity you've lost from eating 80-year-old gum. Because that can't be good for you. It's like, they say you lose brain cells when you drink. I wonder what 30-year-old gum does to it. I don't know. A little scary. Oh, man. ADHD chew. I don't even know what that is. He was a martial. Was he in like kung fu movies? Could he beat Chuck Norris? No doubt it can't be good. I guess it's one of those things, you just don't ask questions. I have to hold the phone because I got to get you in the shade or I can't read. Yeah, Zach's got star power. He's awesome. Looking forward to what you pull today. I'm always hoping that when I send packs out, there's Donnie Baseballs in there. And then it has happened before. And I always think, dang, sent the wrong pack. I should have sent a different pack. It's kind of funny. The kickboxer movies. Okay, so that makes me think of Bloodsport, and I know that's not the one you're referencing, but there was another one with one of the Penn brothers. Hold on, I got to put Bloodsport on my guy movies. Definitely got to watch that one with the kid. What was the one with... It wasn't Sean Penn, it was the other Penn brother, right? The heavier one? Oh, man. I'm going to put Chuck Norris down here. I got all Chuck Norris movies. Rambo, Rocky, Dumb and Dumber. It wasn't called American Kickboxer, but they're all Americans. Chris Penn, yes. Oh, Sandlot, definitely. Oh, I could just do all sports movies. I love sports movies. Lionheart, the one with Sean Connery? Is that the one? Is that the right one? No, Steven Seagal. Wait. What was the one where he was on the boat? and he put like he put like forks or something in the microwave and then timed it perfectly to explode on everybody. Van Damme movies, okay, like half of those are good. All right. Under Siege, that was the one. I'm gonna kill all these bad guys with my pasta recipe. Do you remember the Penn movie? There was like 2 or 3 of them. Stand By Me, great coming of age movie. Definitely adding that to the list. He doesn't like horror movies, so I'm not adding those. Deer Hunter, okay. I haven't seen that in forever. I'll put Conan on my list. Oh, sorry, Julia, I missed your comment. It's a Star Wars Rebels hat. Means you're part of the Rebel Alliance. It is actually my son's hat, but it fits my head perfectly, so I steal it. Commando! Yes. And then you gotta do Predator. Got it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to watch Porky's with him. I think that's one of those movies he has to watch by himself. Oh, the good 80s movies. But I don't want to sit next to him when he watches it. Oh, that's so funny. Yes, happy birthday to Vince's dad. He always seems like such a nice guy. Rudy is now on the list. Okay. Does it bother you that the movie Rudy is not substantiated with facts? There's a lot of people who are like, none of that really happened, including, what was it, Joe Montana? That was on that team. Revenge of the Nerds, yes, all of those are good. Anything with a star character named Booger has got to be good. Caddyshack, great. Weekend at Bernie's, great. Yeah, I watched all of those things when I was a kid. When I was this age, I'd already seen all that stuff. But I didn't sit next to my dad and watch it, or my mom. It was just, that was what cable TV was all about, right? Caddyshack is great. That's very, very good. National Lampoon's movies. Okay, so confession, I don't love those as much as most people, but they are good. Is it just me? It's weird that the kids change actors every time, right? Like I know it's their shtick. Oh, Spaceballs, yeah. Okay, so I did try to get him to watch Spaceballs, and he wasn't into it. I was like, come on, you love Star Wars. Let's watch Spaceballs. It's basically the same, but better. He was like, no, Dad. As soon as we got to Pizza the Hut, he was like, this is so stupid. And I was like, no, they're going to suck out all the air and can it. They're going to can on the air. And then the guy, like, transported from one side of the door to the other, and he got his butt and turned around. He was like, nobody told me my ass was this big. It's hilarious. It's a hilarious movie. He was done, but I watched the rest of it. It was great. The Labyrinth, yes, I love The Labyrinth. Oh crap, kids are coming out. Kids are coming out early. Oh, they're still doing school stuff. They're just enjoying the weather. Labyrinth is really good. Okay, Blazing Saddles. I'm gonna have to put a pin in Blazing Saddles, but I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. I just don't. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how he does. I don't know how he's going to do with that humor. Since we might have some new folks in here, I am trying to do some shout outs. And so if you have any favorite channels that have like 200-ish subs, somewhere right around there, and you want to either put them in the comments or send me an Instagram or something like with your favorites, I'd love it. I'd love it because I can't catch everybody. But just trying to put a little something together. Die Hard is, yes. Die Hard 1 was really good. Die Hard 2 was worse. And Die Hard 3 I thought was unwatchable. I couldn't do it. The part where he's like, who's that? Justin, what's that other actor's name? It's like nerdy all the time. Oh, speaking of that guy, Idiocracy. That should be on my list. Because that guy's in the Idiocracy too. Justin something. It's not Justin Lee. Oh, Crow. See how my mind works? Justin Lee, Jason Lee. I forgot. Yeah, I don't know. A birthday bash for Juice? Robin Hood Men in Tights. Was Robin Hood in the Men in Tights the same guy who was in The Princess Bride? Or am I getting that mixed up in my head? Beverly Hills Cop. Did you see the remake? I didn't see it. It was the same actor? Okay. Yeah, it's great. I'm sure I've seen the second one, but I can't picture it. Bruce Lee movies, all of them, or just like Enter the Dragon? I'm gonna put Enter the Dragon for sure. Because I love kung fu movies. They're great. Hey, thanks for stopping by, John. I appreciate it. I do. Last Dragon is really good too. That's the Bruce Lee story, right? Karate Kid, yes. Yes, Daniel-san. And I can show him, like, hey, if you do more chores, you'd basically be a karate expert. You think he'd fall for that one? No, not so much. Wax on and wax off. Paint the fence. Exactly. Oh. Okay. I haven't seen that one then. What was I think there was it wasn't really a documentary, but it was about Bruce Lee. I think it was called Enter the Dragon or something, Life of the Dragon, something about the dragon. And it was really good. And it was supposed to be like Bruce Lee's story of coming to America and his battles with this demon, the demon that actually killed him at the end. I don't know. It was pretty good. Shogun of Harlem. I have no idea what that is. Add that to my list. These are fun. See movies I haven't seen before. What's another good one? I like all the Rambo movies. Field of Dreams is my okay. I love sports movies, and that is at the top of my list. Like, if I had to make a list of my favorite sports movies, I can't think of one that I would put higher than that. The fact that, Last Dragon, maybe that was what it was called. The Natural's great, but when it comes to sports movies, like the fact that whole movie and Kevin Costner's character almost losing everything. I mean, he almost lost his farm and his family to travel across the country and follow this voice, which was super weird. And then you find out at the end of it, all the amazing things that happened and all his struggles, it all boiled down to he just wanted to play catch with his dad. And as a dad, especially now, that's amazing. To have the opportunity to do that with somebody you've loved and lost, and maybe you didn't connect to in real life, like when they're alive. Because in the story, his father was beaten down and they struggled, and he was haunted by some of the angry things he said as a teenager, and then he got to rectify that. Pretty cool. Great premise. But yeah, I can't think of, I mean, that is a sports movie. I mean, I fell in love with Ray Liotta in that show. I was like, oh, Ray Liotta is so awesome. And I was like, well, now he's one of my favorite actors. So cool. Yeah, love it. Like, I could argue number 2 and number 3 all day. But, yeah, what would number 2 be? I like Remember the Titans a lot. That's one I can watch over and over again. I just made 12 people cry. Sorry. I almost made myself cry. Blade Runner. Okay, does Blade Runner hold up? Blade Runner in the 80s was awesome. Just like Tron in the 80s was awesome. I just don't know that it holds up today. But I'm going to add Tron and Blade Runner to my list. The remake Tron, where they like CGI'd people's faces, I didn't like that one as much. Yeah, I know they redid Blade Runner. I'm thinking of it in my mind. I'm like, I don't know how well that holds up. But it's worth a try. But if I can't get them to watch Spaceballs, I don't know if I'm going to get them to sit down and watch Blade Runner. Because Spaceballs is awesome. But I did agree with them that the Pizza the Hut scene was kind of gross. Where the Max Headroom character was like eating pepperoni off of the giant pizza blob. Yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, nobody wants to watch the Cowboys game. That, it's an efficient use of time. I appreciate that. But now I'm a Green Bay Packers fan for half a season. So there we go. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Yeah, Cowboys. There was like 3 years where I went from being a hardcore Cowboys fan, because that's how you grow up, to hating the Cowboys. And I mean, I would root for them to lose every single game. My friends were like, Justin, you're so annoying. But I'm just like, I want them to lose every game forever, because they got this guy named Terrell Owens. And I hated Terrell Owens. I was like, this guy is so talented. He's such a jerk. He's a terrible teammate. And I just like, when Jerry got pulled in TO, I'm like, this guy doesn't care about anything. He just wants to sell jerseys. TO, I mean, what a talent. What a talent. But what a jerk. And I was like, man, I can't do it. I can't root for this guy. I mean, I rooted against him in San Francisco. I rooted against him certainly in Philadelphia. I was like, I can't do it. And so, yeah, I did a complete 180 on my allegiance to the Cowboys. My friends were like, you are so annoying. But they also understood I'm a man of principle, and I stick by my word. So I was like, I'm not going to root for the Cowboys until T.O.'s off the team. And I didn't. It was great. But thankfully, the Cowboys were always terrible, so I was always in the right. It is like having diarrhea all the time. Jerry Jones is such a jerk. You know they have giant curtains that they could put up where it wouldn't blind the guys on the field? You know they have those. They use them for concerts. He won't put them up because he doesn't want to admit that he's wrong. So after bulldozing over all those people's homes to build that stadium, paid for by the taxpayer that he owns. Get that? Did you see that? See what I just did there? The city of Arlington paid for that stadium, all that land, for the parking lots and everything else, and Jerry Jones owns it. Go figure. I mean, that is just the rich getting richer, and it's disgusting. He's such a jerk. He just deserves it. He just deserves all of the misfortune. But, man, that guy knows how to make money, doesn't he? I mean, he basically just stole, $500 million from the taxpayer and made everybody happy that he did it. There's nothing wrong with the old stadium. It was old, but it had history. So what? He wanted a fancy new one. Oh, I hate Jerry Jones. Cannot stand him. Did you hear rumors that if they suck heart bad enough, they might get the first pick and then pick Deion Sanders' kid? And if they pick Deion Sanders' kid, then Deion's going to be the next coach. That is the theory being spread by more than just social media. Got other people in the know associated with the organization saying the same thing. Kind of interesting. I forgot what the quarterback in Colorado's name is. Is it Shador Sanders? Something like that. But I don't pay close enough attention to college football. I just can't keep up with so many teams. I keep up with LSU, they're terrible. I keep up with my alma mater, they're terrible too. So it's real easy to do. It's just like another week, another loss. It's good. That would be the end of both their careers. I just think it's be very difficult to play for Jerry Jones when he doesn't take responsibility for anything. Like all the misfortune and all the bad things, he's the constant. But he always thinks that he does a good job. And when anybody questions him, like radio personalities, he almost got some guy fired a couple weeks ago, a local guy. And he's just such a jerk. I don't get it. Shador Sanders. Yeah, I was close. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. The kiddos are about to come out. I'm going to get everything ready to do our sprint to get the kids and get out of here. But that is it for me today. Thank you so much. Hey, go hang out with Zach. He will be chewing disgusting gum shortly. That gum came from my house, so hopefully it's not too gross. Maybe I don't know. Good luck with that. And thank you all so much for hanging out with me. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye.